Hello and welcome to the show. We are back at the Bajarama circuit with 3 more vehicles being driven till destruction. Today, going back to the motorsport theme only with some rather different disciplines. Let's see, last time out we had a touring car, we had a rally car, and we had a drag car. Today, we start with a drift car. This, a 200BX, is going to go around the circuit. It has got sort of considerably more steering lock, has got different tyres, completely different suspension, relatively powerful engine, and of course, most importantly, a fairly mighty wing. Not the mightiest of wings, that's to come. However, a fairly mighty wing nevertheless. As far as expectation-wise on this car, well, the 200BXs of the past have gone fairly well. They are incredibly stubborn. The wheels get buckled and bent at silly angles, but it does keep on going. The 200BX police car and the Tuima, that was kind of a 200 cross Pazima thing, were both died actually on the second lap at exactly the same point. So it'll be interesting to see if the drift car can go any further. While its ground clearance is likely to hinder it, the suspension and so on might be a lot tougher. It might be a lot more heavy duty, being, you know, specifically designed for competition. So we will have to kind of wait and see on that one. I mean, that was actually a pretty big knock, but the car did fairly well at cushioning the blow. I fear one of the issues we may see with this, there's a rear bumper, not important, is being a relatively high-powered rear-wheel drive car on drift tyres on dirt is controllability. Just trying not to spin this car around this circuit is likely to be a challenge in itself. Ooh, that's a big crunch. That looks like broken, completely collapsed rear suspension. And suddenly trying to put power down coming towards critical jumps such as this one, we do struggle a little bit. We kind of just wiggle across the road. Oh, we've lost the mighty wing already. Well, that lasted a long time. Oh, we've managed to deflate the front right. That's an interesting one. Oopsie, there's a gear in there somewhere. Oh, we've got a buckled rear wheel. Now, it might still... Hey, it's still got enough speed to clear radiator springs. That is very, very important. I'm expecting to see bent wheels on this car. That's just kind of, yeah, expected with a 200BX. However, I mean, that took a fairly nasty whack, but the car isn't too bad, and we have got the power, I think, to still get away like this. Oh, God, that's not going to work, though, is it? Nope. We're just going to let that spin. There's nothing I can do about that one. We have still got the power to clear some of these jumps. I fear these 2 motocross sections, though, we do have some speed in the car, but are we going to be enough to able to get the rhythm going? Nope. Nope, we can't. We just can't. Oh, we don't have the control, and perhaps more importantly in many ways, the traction across here, although the radiator is still going. Now, of course, plus point, this being a competition car, likely to have a much heavier duty radiator, that might survive a few more knocks. Although when it does go, I suspect this turbocharged and very highly turbocharged engine will overheat very quickly indeed. Having said that, I mean, yeah, the radiator is still in one piece. Come on, drift car. Oh, no, that's not so good. Almost. It's so close to getting that right. That's really annoying. It's really annoying. It's so close to getting the rhythm for these jumps. Can we make that one? Yes, we can. Oh, that's the crash that kills the radiator? That was a relatively mundane landing, in all honesty. However, it has survived almost to the end of the second motocross section, which is good indeed. Come on, 200BX. We can try and put some of this power down. Yeah, the issues that I'm having with this car... Ooh, come on, land it. There we go. Turbo lag is horrendous. If we have it in 3rd gear, there is absolutely no go. Oh, and a 1, and a 2, and we're good. And a gear. There we see, no problem at all. Yeah, if we have this in like 3rd gear, okay, now 3rd gear isn't as terrible as I thought it was, although that is kind of the moment in, oh god, the speed is going, etc. We have this in too higher a gear, there is no go in any way, shape or form. We put it in the gear that it sort of wants to be in and we just spin the wheels, which isn't helpful. It's not helpful for propelling the car through the course. And I fear the likes of radiator springs, we cleared it relatively well. You see there, 3rd gear is nothing. We're not going to get nice smooth landings anymore at all. The car is starting to crab a bit across the road. Come on, speed up here. No, that's not a good landing either. Oh, we're going to go off the course. Not quite. Not quite. I'm allowed to reverse if we get the car stuck on the edge of the course. That is not the car's fault, not the steering's fault in the vehicle whatsoever. The rear of the car is taking a battering. I'll be honest here. The rear of the car is not in a good way. Having said that, we cleared that section with relative ease. Although we got then, we got the landing nice and smoothly. Then the suspension had a fit, and then we kind of bounced around a lot. Steering is starting to hurt slightly, although the hope is with the extra steering lock, if we lose a wheel, if we buckle a wheel up a large amount, we might actually still be able to get away with a relatively drivable car, because the wheel is working and so on, will have a lot more range of movement than a normal car. In fact, the front wheels have survived pretty damn well. It's all the rear that's taken damage in this, but importantly, the drive axles, the drive shaft haven't snapped, which is good news. Although, will we get across radiator springs? Oh, we have. It was a bit of a heavy landing, and we've battered the side of the car. We've done some damage to the front left. But it is good news for the drift car. Well, you wouldn't be able to see a thing from inside the cockpit, and we've done a celebratory donut for beating the other 200 BXs. It's a relatively only just beaten the 200 BXs. However, we are now past, and we shall continue to drive further. I mean, this has got further than the rally car did. That's quite a surprise. Oh, that's not good, though. We've lost a wheel. Problems have occurred. Problems have occurred for the drift car. Now this will test the steering lock on that front right. That was a nasty landing on that. I'm actually very surprised to see a 200BX lose a wheel in that manner. They've been so sturdy, the car. They've bent, but they've not fallen off in the past. But, I mean, it's front wheel. We have still got steering. Both of the rear wheels are at horrendously wonky angles. In fact, I think the angles they're at are really going to help me, because it wants to drag the car left, which is the angle that we're going to have difficulty turning. Not that I suspect the car's going to last much longer. The coolant is now starting to overheat. Yeah, the car is naturally wanting to turn left, which helps with my lack of steering to the left. That's really quite helpful. Can't believe I managed to break this car in a way that's made it usable. For a three-wheeled vehicle. Three-wheeled cars have survived, provided it's one of the non-driven wheels, or it is in an all-wheel drive car, you can get away with losing one of them. Three-wheeled cars do chug along very, very well in this series. Oh, come on, drift car. We can make it onto a third lap, maybe. That is asking quite a lot of your engine. It is getting very, very warm. I think it might do it. Well, that does... I say it relies on these jumps. If we take nasty hits across there, which we are likely to. The problem is we're at that stage where the car is now is quick enough to still get a little bit of airtime, but it is not quick enough to clear the jumps anywhere near neatly. Oh, piston rings are damaged, head gasket's damaged. Come on, car, don't give up on me now. The turbo lag is not helping matters either. Oh Christ, it's not happy. As you could imagine. As you can imagine, the 200BX is not happy, but it has made it on to its third lap. I think we just have to leave it in first. Oh no, we've got it into second. I think it is going to go further than the diesel. The diesel Pazima is going to go further than the Roma. Is it going to go further than the fiery Moonhawk? It does look like it will, because that went off into or part by that fence. It went for its death. We're going to overtake the Sunburst as well. Come on, the D Series kind of made it to the start of this fence. I think we're going to limp further than that. Yes, we are. How is this thing still going? I do not know. But credit to the drift car, where it is due, it is still moving. It is not moving in a natural manner for a car. That is for sure. Surely this engine... How is this engine still going? Like, I'm astounded the engine is even working. That's been overheated for a long time. That's been overheated for a very long time. Again, I guess perhaps a competition engine, sturdier, takes longer for the sort of thermal damage to occur. However, we're still going. Could we really make it up to Radiator Springs for a third time? That's probably asking a bit too much of the car, especially with the crabbing. And if we do make it up to Radiator Springs, I'm not sure we're going to make it past it. I think we might get stuck in the ditch. Oh god, I'm actually now really struggling to get the car turned. We are going to crab our way around. How on earth? handbrake doesn't really do anything anymore. We are crabbing and crabbing and crabbing, and that's worked out somehow. How is this... How is this engine still going? This engine should not be working in this car. It should not be working at all, but it is. We got some airtime in a three-wheel crabbing 200BX. Yep, that's not something you say every day. The oil is overheating. Doesn't matter. Oh, God. Oh, God. Please tell me that's not buckled a wheel in an unusable fashion. I think that might have done. I think it might have... Oh, no, we might still be good. We might still be good if we can get the car going again. We might have bent the chassis at some awkward angles. Unfortunately, where we've got stuck is not great. Oh, it's still alive. The conrod bearings are gone. However, we got out of the ditch. That's not going to turn on, is it? No, it's gone. We got out of the ditch. It clawed its way back onto the course. But on the run up towards Radiator Springs, that was it. I mean, look at the camber and toe we've got going on with those back wheels. Somehow that limped its way around that third lap, and I'm not quite sure how it did it. We still had some semblance of steering going on. The front right wheel able to do the job. The front left missing in action early on. That is an incredible feat from the 200BX when it goes, well, almost a lap further than the police car and the Tuima. So that's, yeah, that is some bloody good going from this car, even if it does end up as a three-wheeled complete and utter wreck. So, up next, we have got, well, it is a wing with a bit of a covert attached to it. This is a hill climb covert. All-wheel drive, plenty of power, not a huge amount of ground clearance, though. This sort of hill climb car designed for sort of the very, very fast technical tarmac stages, not for a Baja circuit. And the covert has not done massively well in the past around this circuit. However, when I saw the size of the wing on this, I couldn't resist. It just has to go around here. As far as survivability, well, we do have a lot of speed, and I mean a lot of speed in this car. Much like we had with the drag car, I cannot take the course flat out with this. The normal rules are that I've got to push the cars as hard as I can. This will just clear the course in various places because of its ludicrous acceleration, so I have to use my judgment with this one. It's also got a horrendous amount of turbo lag, much like we saw in the drift car. The throttle and so on in this is a little bit weird. That was absolutely perfect. Could not have done that better, really, across there. Come on, up the next one. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's still looking good. In fact, all the bodywork is still on. Even the splitter at the front is still just about holding on for dear life. Now, that's all quite promising. A little bit of knocks. I don't know how long the suspension is going to last, but much like we saw with the Roma, when the suspension collapsed on that, it went in such spectacular fashion. Although bad things have occurred. Real bad things have occurred for the covert. Its first rollover, we have bent the wheel, although where we rolled over and where we tumbled and fell into Radiator Springs, we've kind of got away with that in that we didn't have to hit Radiator Springs hard, but I do think we would have cleared it quite easily. The roll has given us a lot of interesting suspension geometry at the back and given me a real lack of control. There is not much car control left here. The wing is still on, though. If we can make a lap with the almighty wing still attached, I will be quite happy. Oh, we're out of the rev range completely. Okay, can we get it... Oh, God, can we get it lined up for these? For a double? No, we can't. Oh, I really hoped we'd had enough power and enough acceleration to do that, because now we're going to be stuck here, crashing into the floor. There's not much that I can do. Don't clonk the wing. Please, you can take the rear bumper. I don't care about that. You can remove the rear bumper, just don't remove the almighty wing. Here we go. Now, this is where we should be able to get. That's a good start. It's a bad middle. It's a very bad middle. Oh, the front left wheel axle is gone. We should still be okay, though. We are still okay. So we're now a rear-wheel drive car, but that's not a problem. The wing's still attached to the covert. We've made it further. We've made it further than the standard car did. What I think might have caused issues for this is with the huge amount of aerodynamics going on and with it all being broken, as we took off, the car was just flying so wonky through the air. I think that's what actually caused the loss of control. Admittedly, we didn't have the smoothest of takeoffs. However, yeah, the huge damage to the aero is causing issues. However, we are still all good. I mean, we lost the front left. It said, was it front? It was front left wheel axle. It might not have any drive going to it, but the steering is still working. That is the critical part here. The steering is still working there, so we can continue to drive the car. And now, if we can get... Oh, bugger. Come on, come back down. Don't slide off the course. Get some drive. There we go. I think actually hold on, the radiator's not dead yet. The radiator's still okay in this car. We're not overheating at all. This is a tough little bugger. I will give it that much. And I am having to rev the nuts of it, because if I don't, we get no drive whatsoever. There is just nothing. In fact, I had to take... Oh, we've lost a tyre. That's not helped matters. Why is that gone? Oh, that's going to hinder progress. That's going to hinder progress a lot right there. Bugger. Crap. Because we've now got one wheel. Our one wheel that is at a good angle is the one wheel that has no traction, and the wheel that has traction is at a wonky angle, so it drives the car wonky. I do fear with that shredded tyre we're going to end up shredding other bits of the car as we go. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate indeed. I don't know why that tyre let go. I don't know if it's debris getting caught underneath it. Come on, Covert. You can make it. No, you can't make it. Oh, that's not a fun noise. I don't know what's going on with the engine is having all sorts of issues right now. We are not in a good way. The tyre malfunction has cost us dearly here. I think the car... I'm not actually sure what's going on with the car now. Both the front and rear axles are down. The radiator has finally gone. I mean, the radiator was holding on very, very well. We've kind of got drive. I don't really know what's going on with the drive in this car. It's just not really working, and we're kind of now grinding to a halt. I'm not really sure. It's still working-ish. Okay, no, we can get over the crest. Is a high gear going to help us here? I'm not really sure. I don't know if the radiator, the engine's going to last very long having to drive like this, because I'm literally having to drive full throttle. I do think we might struggle down the motocross section, because I think our lack of traction and various differential issues are going to cause problems. We might get over these first few. Come on, hill climb, Covert, you have done so. And, the mighty wing is still here. The mighty wing is still here. We are continuing to progress. We've outdone the Mercedes that died. We've outdone the rally car that died on its second lap. Still, we plod along. I don't know why we've lost so much drive in this one. That's the issue. Because we haven't snapped a rear axle. I know we've lost the wheel, but that shouldn't be... Maybe that is what's causing the problem, but then it should have been causing the problems immediately, not just now. This is where I think we might get into trouble, because I think we're going to beach the car if we're not careful up here. Oh, come on, Covert. Come on, Covert. No, it's not going to do it, I don't think. I don't think we're going to go any further. I like how disintegrated that rear rim is. It's stuck. It's a goner. Kind of, yeah, that all stemmed from tyre failure. That's the first car, actually, to have a tyre properly explode on us. I don't know what caused it. I don't know whether some debris got caught underneath it, or whether it was the angle it was running at, but the tyre let go. And once that went, we didn't have the drive to get across radiator springs. When we smacked that, we caused a lot of damage to the front, and that's affected the driveline in some way as well. We kind of limped our way around here, but... yeah, it's stuck. The hill climb car goes out with spectacular tyre failure, followed by not so spectacular limping, before we eventually kind of beached the car a little bit. However, the mighty wing did indeed stay in place. And finally, for today, we have a Formula 1 car. Yes, the FR16. You guys wanted to see me have a go with this, and I'm going to try and make more than... Well, the first jump, really, is the goal here. We're going to lose the wings. The front wing, the rear wing, they're going to fall off the car. The question is, how long will the wheels survive? Now, admittedly, Formula 1 suspension should be pretty damn tough. However, massively open wheels like these, if we twist, we get even a slightly wonky landing, that's bye-bye to the wheels, pretty much. The best hope that we have with this car, and to be fair, it is a half-decent hope, is we have ludicrous speed available to us. We have so much speed, in fact, that we should be able to get nice, clean landings on all of the jumps from the smallest acceleration zones. Which is good, because we're going to need them. That is literally the only way, the only hope we have of surviving this is to get smooth landings. The front wing survived that. How the hell did the front wing survive that? I could actually do with... Oh no, we're still flying relatively well. From crashes I had on the Canyon Rally, I could do with this car shedding its aero parts as quickly as possible. The problem is now, because we've got a wonky rear wing, it does... Oh, careful, off into the foliage we go. Because we have now a bent rear wing, the aero is now unstable. If we lose the rear wing, we might be okay. Oh, but it's now so unstable that when we go for a big airtime like that, it's not as bad as I feared, actually. We are flying a little bit lopsided. There goes some more of the rear wing. This isn't going to be the last place car. Not many of you expected that one, I suspect. We've gone further than the K-Series, even. We can't take too much speed across here, especially with the damage to the rear wing, because the car will just freak out. What we do need is some speed here to get the doubles going. Oh, bad things are going to happen any second now. Bad things have happened. Oh, bad things have happened indeed. We are still working. Oh, no, don't get stuck under the car. Don't get stuck underneath the car. Oh, we can... I'm not sure quite how this is still driving. I think the... oh, God. That rear left wheel is somehow on the functioning... Oh, it's bouncing and bouncing, and it's now kind of dragging us about. The problem is, things are now only going to get worse. Things are only going to get worse in this car, and we are inevitably, I think, going to do that. Ah, crap. It's technically still working. I should be going back there, because that's not kind of where it kind of came to a rest, sort of over. Actually, amazingly, with a little bit of help from the terrain, that's kind of where the car came to rest. It was never going to last long. It was never going to last long, and I think that lasted better than I was expecting in many ways. By being able to get it up to the speeds required to get across the early jumps, we could survive. The problem is, when you get to the motocross sections, well, it does have the speed to get a nice rhythm going on. The issue being is that if it just bounces and twists ever so slightly on the landing, that's you screwed, because you can't then get the speed back up again to continue the doubles, and it's just going to bounce and twist more and more as it goes until eventually it snaps a wheel. And once it's lost a wheel, then it becomes undrivable near enough. I mean, we didn't actually make it a little bit of a way down the second motocross section. Even with it being a horrendous angle, it is always eventually going to kind of roll with the angles those rear wheels are at. But, yeah, I mean, it made it over halfway around a lap. A Formula 1 car on a horrendously punishing Baja circuit made it, well, 3/4 really of a lap. And that, I think, is a respectable showing for for this sort of car. It did beat a fair few vehicles, so yeah, an interesting result. Funnily enough, not very suited here. However, kept going for a decent amount of time. So it is on to our results table, and there is some movement in the top 10. The 200BX drift car goes into 7th place. It becomes the highest positioned motorsport car, which is not a result that I was particularly expecting. But there we go. It made it further than the touring car I-Series. It's made it further than the D-Series and the Sunburst. It's Fantastic, fantastic. It was only fractionally further than the I-Series, but there we go. We have to go a little bit further down, but still relatively decent showing from the hill climb at Covert into 16th place. All of that's problems caused by one exploded tyre. I don't know what caused the tyre. I mean, I went back and looked at the footage, and there's no debris. There doesn't seem to be any horrible bumps that it hit. It was kind of on the edge of the road a little bit. Oh, it might have just been that stress eventually got the better of it. Whatever it was, that tyre letting go was a big problem for the car. The Formula 1 vehicle, the FR16, is, down towards the bottom as we would expect. However, it beats the Covert, it beats the T-Series, the Barstow, the K-Series. That's a ridiculous showing for an open-wheeled race car. That was all about getting the speed to get across the early jumps. In the end, the motocross sections, I think, were always going to kill the car, but having the speed to get nice landings early on meant that the Formula 1 car could survive for a little bit. However, that is going to be it for this video, guys. As ever, I shall link all the mods I've used in the description so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. But until next time, goodbye.